Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Newman. It's my job to study coronaviruses, and so let's try to answer your questions. The next question is from Tim, and good morning, Tim. All right, what is Dr. Ben's opinion about the Great Barrington Declaration? Oh, yeah, dim, yeah, and the Jon Snow Memorandum, yeah, much more positive, yeah. The Great Barrington Declaration is named after some town in Massachusetts where apparently there are or were a whole bunch of goofballs, yeah, who just didn't understand stuff. And the Jon Snow Declaration, is it? Yeah, is named after an old timey epidemiologist, basically, sort of a founder of epidemiology. The Declaration says, let it go, let the virus spread at will among the young and able bodied. And so then they will build up herd immunity, yeah, which we've talked about. We've talked about this before. And the Jon Snow Declaration says, don't you dare do that. Yeah, take whatever steps are necessary to get rid of this virus. It's a political divide. It's a divide of ideas, and in this case, one of those ideas is completely wrong and stupid. Unfortunately, yeah, and that's the herd immunity one. So what we had this week was a nice paper that came out from the UK showing that on average you can only rely on antibodies for about 3 months, and then they will have decayed to the point where a reinfection is possible. So this is when people who have actually had the coronavirus. So your protection does not last long enough for you to actually get herd immunity. For something like herd immunity, you need durable protection, where your protection against the virus is going to go on for potentially years. So that once everybody has had it, then you just have to protect babies who haven't had it yet, and very susceptible older people who presumably you don't want to let get it. Problem is, there's no way to do that, and I don't know of any case where giving up, rolling over, and playing dead has had any effect on a contagious disease, any good effect on a contagious disease. And more to the point, it's kind of like the philosophy of just saying, I don't want to do the dishes because eventually they will, the food will biodegrade and they'll be whatever, good enough to use again. It's true, but there are so many bad things that are going to happen before then, involving rats and bugs and disease, that is not a good solution to the problem. It is not compatible with keeping society intact and not letting terrible things happen, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, I like that they have these highfalutin, fancy names now. That's pretty nice. And yeah, when I hear Jon Snow, I'm thinking of the British newsreader. I got to do a couple things with him a few years back, and he was lovely. Yeah, so I guess I'm predisposed to like that one anyway, right? But no, there's no sensible case, and the talk about herd immunity is actually coming from a very few epidemiologists and medical people in the community. Almost all of the scientific consensus is actually on the Jon Snow side, not on the Great Barrington side. It is a very loud, very vocal, very tiny minority who honestly are mostly working outside of the field where they're actually experts. Yeah, to put it nicely. So no. Yeah, Jon Snow all the way. No thanks. Great Barrington. Yeah. But yeah. Now convincing. So the drawback with the Jon Snow memorandum, not declaration, is that it costs a lot of money to actually get rid of the virus, and rolling over, playing dead, and just saying whatever, let the virus take take whoever it wants. Yeah, that's very easy. But the consequences of that just keep going forever, and there is no exit strategy. From what we've seen so far, this is not a virus that will have seasons, and this is not a virus that is shown any real propensity to self-limit. The virus just keeps going and going and going, and people keep getting sick, and even if they don't die, they end up with these, what look like long-term or permanent damage to the heart and to the brain. You can't think very well after, and it's just, why? I don't, well, who thought this was a good idea? Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks it's a good idea. I think some people think it's expedient, and I would very strongly disagree with anyone who thinks this is expedient enough to be worthwhile. That's just a very, very bad way to do things, allowing the virus to essentially burn unchecked. Yeah. So, there you go. That's my 2 cents on those things. Thank you for bringing that up. I did not realize we had such fancy names for, what is utter nonsense and actually fairly good sense. But I'm in the Jon Snow camp. That's fine. Yeah, I'm happy there. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr. Ben.